everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video just another guy on the internet. And in today's video, we're going to be reviewing yet another Massive Asylum. This one was made by Breadcrack, and we've actually already reviewed a couple of his other Massive Asylum maps on his channel. But since this map was requested, and also there's really not a whole lot of Massive Asylum maps out there left for me to actually explore, I thought we might as well take a look at this one. Why not? So here we are. So yeah, it's another one of his older maps, so there could be some inaccuracies here and there. But nonetheless, I do actually look forward to reviewing this. So let's actually get started here. And you can see it's another one of these kind of gameplay maps where you have the some of the gameplay elements being added. You can just press this button here, and it'll probably take you to the underground lab here. So at the start of Whistleblower, I imagine. So, but what's also really cool is that you can just basically go around the map and just go at your own pace, basically. So just really check out what you want to explore. So it's basically do whatever you want. So that's always nice to have as well. And yeah, so not really a whole lot to really say with the actual driveway. It's pretty basic. Of course, we got the courtyard here, and yeah, here's where I see he got some stuff wrong with the actual driveway here. I mean, he's got the shape right. It's kind of this, like, oval shape. But with the actual road here, it's not actually a dirt road. It's actually paved, so some type of asphalt. So maybe use, like, gray wool or even concrete. So kind of makes it look paved and not just like this dirt road. Because the only dirt road is the one that leads up to the actual asylum. And this is also very interesting here, okay, with the actual terrain. But we're not really interested in that. We're interested in the actual building here. And also, yeah, as I was saying, yeah, the actual driveway is also a bit too narrow. So kind of try to kind of extend it a bit. So I think with 3 blocks, it looks more like a sidewalk or a walkway than an actual driveway. So actual cars would be actually moving around here, so just kind of trying to make it look like that, like an actual driveway. And of course, we have the actual building here with the administration block, and as you can see, he chose to use cobblestone for the actual facade, which is it's refreshing to see something else than stone brick being used. I've noticed a lot of people use stone brick for their exterior wall material. So it's just kind of refreshing to see something different being used. Although personally, cobblestone wouldn't be my first choice. I can see why you used it. It kind of does resemble the texture a bit. It's kind of this stone kind of material on the real life asylum that's based off of the Buffalo State Hospital. It uses a sandstone, actually. It uses a type of sandstone called Medina sandstone. And you can see that being used on the actual Massive Asylum in the game as well. It's the same exact texture. So one of the reasons I use sandstone personally is because of that very reason, and also because the actual color is a lot closer. When you use stone brick or cobblestone, it's just too dark. It's not gray. If you look at the building, it's not gray. It's more of this kind of sand, kind of buff color, basically. So it's lighter color, and it also looks a little bit better, in my opinion, than stone brick or cobblestone. Some people also have used brick, I've noticed. I think one of the maps I reviewed, I forget whose map used brick, but someone used brick on one of their maps, and brick works for some of the select areas, like the vocational blocks or some of the outdoor sheds, and these exterior walls here that kind of surround the perimeter here, they also work. But as for the actual building here, yeah, it's more of this stone type of exterior. So yeah. But other than that, it looks really good. I mean, your window placements are on point here, so it looks pretty good. Of course, you got the actual Roof, pretty much correct for the most part, although there wouldn't really be a dormer here. It would, it's like a dormer structure, but it actually doesn't have any windows on it. So very interesting there. And you can also notice that he does have the scaffolding, since this map is supposed to be um, uh, during the actual incident, so that's why that's there. Of course, if you're building it before the incident, um, you don't really have to include that scaffolding there. So it's just more difficult to build the asylum during the actual before the incident, because you kind of have to use your imagination a little bit more. So when you're building it during the incident, of course you can just go back to the game and just copy everything, but with before the incident you have to use imagination a bit. But anyways, yeah, so here we have the actual lobby here. Lobby looks good. The only thing I would really recommend changing is the some of the select choices, like the glass here, for example. It's not actually yellow. A lot of people get this wrong. It's not yellow because it's more of this clear color. The reason it looks yellow is because of the light being reflected off of the actual chandeliers here. So it's, if you take a really close look at it, it's just this clear, just, kind of regular window, basically. Just normal stained glass, kind of like white. So use like clear white or something like that, or just like the standard Minecraft glass that you see. So, and also, of course, for the actual floor choice, yeah, I mean stone brick, because it's actually two different floor patterns you see. There's this tile, and there's also kind of this carpet, which he kind of tried to represent with this kind of rug here, although it would be a lot bigger, and it's also not green. Now that's actually something I've noticed you guys have been complaining about in some of his other maps, is that, and other Mount Master Asylum maps, is people keep using green carpets. So um, that's really good, because I didn't even notice that. So good eye, guys. But yeah, it's not green for here. It's, yeah, again, kind of this sand, kind of buff color, basically, and then you would just have tile throughout. So maybe use like andesite or something, which is what I'm using. It looks really good, and it's also really close to um, the actual tile here. And yeah, so you got your reception desk here with the actual computers. You got your offices here, and yeah, so there's a lot of wood being used in the actual admin block. And then, of course, you kind of have this blue at the top, although a lot of people use gray for that. I'm not really sure why people use gray. It's this like really, really dark blue. So always very interesting to see. And yeah, of course, you got the restrooms, although there's really no restrooms to be really seen. So one thing I would recommend, if when you're building your, this really applies to like any like structure you're trying to recreate. If you're noticing that you're unable to fit like rooms and stuff, try to increase your scale. So I'm gonna guess that this was built in 1:1 scale, just because it's a really popular scale people use. And also just from the looks of it, it looks like 1:1 scale. So if you're having trouble just like fitting in rooms and stuff, because personally for me, 1:1 scale is too small. So I would try to kind of expand it, maybe like 1.5 to 1, or maybe even 2 to 1. So because for me, yeah, 1:1 is too small, and this is one of my problems, is sometimes you have problems just fitting in actual rooms. Like for example, someone built a 1:1 scale Titanic, and everything was fine on the upper decks, but once you got to the lower decks, there was a lot of missing rooms. Like there was a lot of missing. It wasn't just like small stuff, like just like the occasional closet. It was basically like entire rooms were just like either missing, or they were just really, really small. Like the only thing he could fit was a bed. Like the door, it was just a door and then a bed. So yeah, I mean, definitely try to increase your scale if you're having trouble fitting in actual rooms there. So just kind of my advice there. But anyways, yeah, we do have the staircase and elevator here. Very nice. And yeah, so it looks pretty good here from the looks of it. Also, really like all of the little details, like the paintings here, and also, yeah, you got the actual portraits here. Of course, they don't look anything like the ones in the actual game, but of course, those are the just the standard Minecraft paintings. So, very nice attention to detail. And he also even took the time to put in the actual vents, but not only that, he also took the time to put in the actual openings where the air would actually go in and out and kind of circulate. So he actually added those in. Now they could be incorrect with the actual placement. I can't exactly remember that detail, but he actually did add in the actual openings here, which is really impressive because even I didn't do that for my old map. I am doing it for my new map. So really cool to actually see that. Um, so yeah, and of course, yeah, you got, doors boarded up, all of the furniture, just kind of in very odd spots, and that's just because, again, it's the actual incident here. So yeah, and here you have a pretty typical um, kind of room here. A lot of wood being used, wood flooring, kind of the wood molding here. So, and of course, you also have the fireplace with some brick, very nice. And yeah, and also for the TVs, I would recommend just making it black. So use like black concrete or black wool. It looks like a TV that's turned off, but I guess he was trying to make it look like it was turned on, like it was actually playing something. And yeah, so this would lead to the first floor of the mail ward here. And so yeah, it's a lot of just the same color schemes here. So again, a lot of wood here, and there's those green rugs there that you guys so despise. So yeah, really nice furniture in here. Very interesting choice of using this type of wood. Never really seen that before. Also, really like the curtains here. So very nice detail. So let's head to the other wing here. So yeah, I got this room. Yep, so this all looks correct. And you got your restroom here, although, yeah, I would kind of try to make this more kind of square shaped because it's not a rectangle, it's a square. So maybe push these walls back by like a block or even two. So I think that, yeah, you would get a perfect square if you would have the walls actually here. That way you don't have these extra stall doors because these stalls are right up against the wall. So it's just little details here. I mean, some of you might think it's nitpicking, but really, a lot of these maps that you guys have put out are really good. But of course, there's always stuff you can improve upon because it's a really big building. There's a lot of stuff that you're working with. So, there's always stuff you can always improve upon. So yeah, you have the security room here. Again, kind of the buttons here. So I'm guessing because I don't have the texture pack installed, it's not showing up. So I'm guessing that you would press the button and it would take you to the prison block, just like in the actual game. So yeah, you got some missing rooms here. Of course, that's one of the rooms that you don't actually go into. You can access it through mods, and yeah, it's basically an empty room. So just an empty room with a fireplace. I think like maybe a desk or something. I don't know. I don't really remember, but I'm kind of better at remembering the actual like wall patterns and like floor patterns and some other details like that. I'm not really good with the actual furniture. If you've noticed in these reviews, I don't really talk about the furniture too much, and that's because I don't really remember where every single piece of furniture is, because that would be completely ridiculous to remember every single piece of furniture. So it's much easier to just know if there's like, oh, does this use brick or something like that. So it's a lot easier. Um. So yeah. Anyways, let's see. Should we go to the basement or yes? Let's actually go to the basement first. So yeah, and we have the basement here, which is flooded just like in the real game. I would probably try to lower this a bit. It doesn't really look like it's flooded here. It's just kind of like this little balcony here that doesn't really exist here. So yeah, basement. Yeah, so of course you got the brick here with kind of the cement flooring here. So it's very basic here. And even took the time to put in some of the little details here. So really cool. And it's really dark in here, so there's really not a whole lot to see here um, without any type of light. So, but I don't think we really need to explore every single room. I mean, he's got the basic idea of the basement correct, the brick and cement flooring, so that's all good. So yeah, second floor here, and of course we have the upper level of the lobby, so it looks pretty good here. Yeah, again, kind of these missing rooms here, so try to increase your scale a bit. And we have the library here, so again, a lot of wood being used here. I think it's carpet in this room, but I can't be 100% sure, but I think it was carpet if I remember correctly. And we even have, of course, Stevenson here. So always like all the little details. And let's see, so this leads to the recreation hall. And of course we got this room here with the pool table. And this is the recreation hall. Yeah, it looks really small here than what it is in the actual game. So, but yeah, it looks pretty nice. Of course, you got pretty much got the shape of it correct and the actual um, patterns here with the wood and stuff. So pretty cool. And yeah, I got the kind of the backstage area with the staircase here. Yep. So this is all correct, and you also have the projector room. Although there's no actual projector, so but you get the idea. And we're missing a room here. There's supposed to be the one office here. And okay, so yeah, this is supposed to be yellow stained glass, so it's not brown. That's very interesting there. So yeah, I got some missing rooms here. So I don't think he really finished this because some of the rooms that are missing are rooms you can actually access. So at first I thought it was like, oh, it's because this is a room you can't access in the actual game. Now it's some actual rooms here missing. So yeah, yeah. So more offices, more break rooms. That's pretty much what the administration block has. So just a lot of office space. And this leads to the female ward here. And this right here leads to the prison block. So this is all correct here. And yeah, the other wing here is just basically going to be kind of the same thing here. So yeah, just more off. Wait a minute. Yeah, I like this right here. Yeah, that's what I'm doing for my map. Um, although these rooms right here don't actually have this ceiling. They just have like this bare white ceiling. Um, these rooms, however, do have it. So yeah, but I do like that ceiling there. Let's see. Oh yeah, and we even have the yeah, again, just more details here with the actual signs here. So really cool. Although it would have been nice to see the room numbers being added, so that would have been really cool. So yeah, it's just all the little details that I can really appreciate. And this leads to the mail ward, so yeah, so this all looks correct here. Although it's carpet out in these hallways here, so I see a lot of wood being used. And then last but not least, we have the third floor here. So again, we have the top of the elevator and staircase here. We have this kitchen here, so yeah, a lot of wood being used, although this would be just be tile. So, and I would try to add some more detail here. So, for these kitchens, there's always a lot of detail. You have all these appliances and other stuff here. So, yeah, just try to add some more detail here. And we also have this kind of cafeteria, canteen area here. So, and it is at the front here, so it gets a really nice view of the outside area. So kind of the outside courtyard. Um, and there's also this look down he added, which is very interesting. Like this kind of railing is here, but it wouldn't be this big here. So kind of really interesting there, but it's really cool to actually be able to look out the windows because that's something we can't do in the original game. So it's always really cool to see in Minecraft. Yeah, so more. Yeah, these are some of the rec rooms here. You got TVs, you got pool tables, so just kind of some break areas for the staff, of course, not for the patients because the patients wouldn't really be allowed here. And you also have the staff rooms here, staff sleeping quarters, which, yeah, again, there's a lot of stuff missing here, and this would also lead to the prison block here. And before we forget, let's actually review the chapel. So, yeah, this is a really big cross. That's the first thing I noticed in here. Yeah, it's really huge. But with the actual chapel, I would kind of try to work on the proportions a bit better. It looks more square shaped here. Even though with chapels, it's usually they're really long and narrow. So try and make it look more kind of like a rectangle. So make it a little bit more narrow and a little bit more longer here. But I do like the stained glass here. That's really cool detail there, just like in the real game. So and you also have the altar. So really cool, and also even got the little balcony area. And let's see. Okay, so yeah, so here's what one of the staff rooms will look like. So pretty nice here. And of course with the actual beds here. So with the actual bed covering here, they are like this dark gray. So it's not really black, but it's pretty close. So and also, you know, appreciate that you're using other colored beds, not just red beds. I know a lot of people really like red beds because they're really nostalgic, but for me, it's really all about accuracy. So I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, then it's just this ward here. Oh, not ward, wing. But with the third floor, um, it's not actually dark blue with the lower two levels. It's actually this kind of buff color. So yeah, for these rooms here, it would have the wood here, but then it would be a different color for the top. And yeah, so that pretty much wraps it up for the administration block here. And also, props to you for getting this correct here, having it 2 levels and not 3, because in the courtyard, it does look like it's 3 levels, but it's actually only 2. So, and yeah, so where should we go to next? I guess we could check out the courtyard while we're here. So yeah, let's see. So, well, the first thing I want to talk about is the back of the admin block. So, um, yeah, the shape here is a little off. Um, it's a little bit difficult to get it right if you don't have the proper photos. I've taken a lot of photos of the courtyard during the lightning strikes, so it's really bright, so you can get an actual idea of what the courtyard looks like. So yeah, and this back here is a little off. I mean, it's kind of like chapel and recreation area is too tall here. Yeah, you can see that the roof here is a lot taller than the one here. It's actually supposed to be level. It is very difficult to get that correct because of the different roof angles. So um, also like this area, yeah, it's not just like this one side roof. It's actually like this, basically almost. So um, but other than that, and also the shed here is it's supposed to be right behind this right here. So this is correct right here where it's basically kind of like centered here, and also kind of move this all the way to the right up against the wall here. But as for this, yeah, it's supposed to be right behind. So, um, and yeah, but the exterior here of the male ward here doesn't look too bad. Looks pretty good here. Although there are some things, of course, I would probably change. These areas are way too small here, and also the staircases actually extend out a bit further than this. But the actual walkway here is pretty good. It's actually really close to the actual game here. Of course, we got the fountain here. We have the tool shed. And yeah, so let's see. And of course, we have the prison here, which is the same shape as the wards for the most part, with a few small differences. Alright, and we also have the gazebo here, and that's not supposed to be a fountain, it's supposed to be a pond. It's a pond with a small bridge crossing it. And then this here leads to the female ward. So, let's actually check out the female ward while we're here. So again, yeah, he used a lot of wood here. It's supposed to be tile. And there's those green rugs again. So let's see, staircases here, alright. More staircases and also the elevator here. So yeah, just work on the flooring a bit more. And with the actual color scheme here, yeah, it's not orange, it's pink. And also, I would probably replace the stone brick and make it white. And then use sandstone for this top level here. So remember how I said it's kind of this buff color at the on the third floor of the admin block? It's basically the same here. And also, this also applies to the prison block, where it's this kind of buff color at the top here. And it's really dark here, yep. So there's probably not a whole lot we can really see here. And alright, that's interesting. Yeah, these are supposed to be dorms, if I'm correct. If I'm looking at what I'm supposed to be looking at here, it's supposed to be dorms. And they have windows and stuff, so. Let's see. So third floor, yeah, I'm just kind of flying through this because it's mostly the same stuff here. It's just dorms here. Okay, so yeah, here's one of the dorms. So yeah, again, I would work on your floor and wall patterns a bit, even though this advice doesn't really matter because he already kind of made an updated version of this and it looks a lot better. So, but just kind of for future reference, I guess, if you happen to be watching this and you're thinking of building your own map, these are just kind of the things to watch out for. So it's not, when I'm saying all of this stuff, I'm not really just saying it to him, really, I'm saying to everyone. And yeah, so there you can see the hospital from here. Very cool. So yeah, we'll probably have a better look at this in the male ward if the lights are on. But anyways, yeah, this area is just collapsed here, as you can see. So yeah, just like in the real game here. And we also have the hallway there that leads back to the admin block. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the female ward, unless I really want to check out the basement. And there's not even a basement, so. Alright. Okay, so I guess we'll go to the male ward then. And hopefully the lighting in here is a bit better, because in the male ward there's more lighting than in the female ward, because the female ward is abandoned. And yeah, so more green rugs here, and yeah, kind of work on your color scheme. So, like I said, for the female ward, it's the same thing, except of course it's blue at the bottom here, which you got right. And also your layout is correct for the most part, but for this is a room here, so it doesn't just open off into this hallway here. So kind of be mindful of that. And we got the baths here. And there's supposed to be bathtubs here, not sinks. And also there will be blue tile here with a little bit of white at the top. And more vents. So yeah, I really like how those vents turned out. We also have the laundry room here. And yeah, there would be tile in here. And also with these windows, there's supposed to be 5 of them. And also they're not really that big. So what I did was I take the stair from the material that you're using for the wall and just kind of add it at the corners here. So it looks a little bit smaller and a little bit more true in scale to the actual windows there. Of course, you can't put glass on it with that way, but it looks a lot better, in my opinion. And yeah, so we got the cafeteria here. So it's on fire here, just like in the actual game. And again, there would be tile here. It's not just this same color scheme being used here. And let's see. Okay, so yeah, we got the kitchen here. So, okay, got a lot of good detail in here. Even have the dumbwaiter here, of course. Looks like we don't have a basement here, from the looks of it. So, kind of a shame there because I really like the mail ward basement. And okay, so yeah, we have the landing here, and there's supposed to be tile here again. And then we have these rooms here at the front. It's dark. Let's see, hang on. Maybe there'll be... Okay, good. Okay, so here we can get a better idea of what he was doing for these wards here. And again, all of the wards here are basically just the same on the upper 2 levels here. So, and yeah, so I really like how you did the hallways here. They're, let's see, 6 blocks wide. Wow. Maybe at this scale they're a little bit too wide. For this scale, maybe 3 or 4 blocks would be good. I mean, I think 5 is really pushing it, but 6 is definitely a little bit... It's too wide here. And yeah, so you have more wards here and, dorms. It looks basically the same as the one we saw in the female ward, just with a different color scheme here. And yeah, we got the restrooms and these areas that connect the dorms on each side. And also for these dorms here and for some other areas in the wards, the ceiling is the same material as the columns and the upper level of the wall here. So whatever you use for the walls and the columns, you have to apply it to the ceiling. So you can't just use something else. It's the same throughout. And whatever you use for those, you use for let's see, let's go to a staircase here real quick. For staircases here. So, and then it would be brick here on this outer wall, and then here will be the same material as whatever you use here. And for these staircases, the main staircase, it's brick. So, but yeah, with that, I think that's pretty much it for the mail ward here. Yeah, just a lot of the same stuff here. So that's why I'm kind of flying through this, because it's just basically the same stuff, and it also looks really similar to one of the other maps I've reviewed. One of his other maps. So yeah, let's go to the prison next, and really, really great that you actually made it 2 levels from the entrance up, because few people make it 3, but what ends up happening is your entrance ends up on the 2nd floor. So that's why when we build the asylum, we always have... It's still 3, as you can see here, but it's really 2 from where the entrance is. So the level where the entrance is on the mid level. So as you can see, so and yeah, there wouldn't really be windows here. This area would be covering it up. So yeah, it would just extend all the way over here. And oh dear, what do we have here? Yeah, this is supposed to be moved over to here. So it's not shaped like that. So just kind of be mindful of that. And we have the prison. And okay, so yeah, I really like the prison here. This is really good here. Um, the actual wall coverings are correct. You know, you got the actual buff color here with a little bit of white, but then there would be more of this at the top here. It's a little bit slightly different shade. So what I did was I used sand at the bottom, and then I used white concrete powder for kind of the midsection, and then at the top I used regular sandstone. So for these sandstone blocks I would use for staircases, but it's kind of hard to fit that because again of the scale that he used. You can't really add an outer, 2 layers of walls, so the exterior and then the interior walls. That's why I'm building on a bigger scale, is because I can fit 2 levels of, like, 2 layers of different materials. So the exterior layer is not the same as the interior one. So, and yeah, we have the holding cells here. So yeah, and also really like the flooring here. It's kind of this basic kind of gray floor. So I think stone works for the time being. So yeah, we got B block down there, although this would actually also be B block here. We have the main prison area here. So yeah, it's just all stone here. So yeah, like how you labeled the actual blocks there. And we also have C block here, so yeah, really cool. And okay, so yeah, just kind of flying through this here. And up here, yep, this all looks pretty good here. Got some missing rooms there. No big deal. But yeah, this layout looks pretty good here, yeah. Looks really spot on. Although, yeah, there would be another hallway leading to, like, the security room. We have the radio room. So, yeah, looks really good. Before we go to the hospital recreation area, let's check out the vocational block and drawing ground. And oh boy, okay, so yeah, yeah, this you got definitely wrong. Vocational block and mail ward are not just connected like that. They're connected by a hallway. So this is not how they're connected. Just kind of this one big structure here. So all the different sections are completely separate. They're basically just connected to each other by hallways. So they're not connected like this. And yeah, as for the actual vocational block itself, yeah, I would kind of work on this entrance area a bit more. It's a lot smaller than this. It doesn't extend to both sides here. And also, yeah, try to work on your material choices a bit more. It's white here for these interior walls, and then for these exterior walls, it's brick. So, and also there would be tile in here, and then wood for some of the actual rooms here. So yeah, it's just making it all cobblestone. You know, looks a bit boring, and also it's less accurate. Uh, but I do like the signs here. Even got the exit sign. We have the courtyard. Yeah, it's more square shaped than a rectangle, and also there's supposed to be 3 windows on each side, on each level. We also have staircase here, which is correct, and also the elevator. So yeah, would also try to work on the layout a bit more. It's not just a hallway here. There's also supposed to be 2 rooms here, and we also have, let's see, yeah, just more workshop areas here. We have the gymnasium, of course, the upper level at least. So yeah, that's the second floor. So yeah, that's really all that I can really suggest to you is, or to anybody, is just kind of take a closer look at the actual floor plans. And if you're having trouble fitting in rooms, try to increase your scale. It's really dark in here. And also, yeah, there's these like random rooms here. I'm not really sure why that is. And also, yeah, the drying ground. Yeah, I can see why it's just too wide, and the reason is because he got the position of the vocational block incorrect relative to the male ward. So, but we do at least have this shed here. Well, not really shed. This structure connects the. It provides a connection to the prison block and the secondary vocational block here. Speaking of which, let's actually check it out. Okay, yeah. So he didn't add the Easter egg here. It's just basically a copy of the other vocational block, which yeah, I think it's basically just identical. That's what the interior would look like. I'm going to talk more about that in an upcoming lore video. And of course, we also have the water tower. So just kind of giving you a closer look at it here. So looks pretty good. So yeah, here's the prison here. And this is correct here with the actual sides here. So there's kind of like two of these kind of jut out areas here that kind of stick out. So, but speaking of which, yeah, make sure it's the same uh, as that. So again, like I said, the prison block and wards have the exterior shape of like this identical like footprint and exterior basically. So try to keep. Yeah, here's another tip. Also try to keep stuff consistent as well. So it'll look a lot better that way. And also more accurate too. So yeah, recreation area. And yeah, it's too narrow and too long. So I would try to work on the shape a bit better, the footprint. So yeah, these areas came out way too small here, and that's just because you made it too narrow. So yeah, this area here doesn't really exist here. Let's see, we have the security tower and security office. So, and yeah, the rest of the recreation area, like yeah, looks okay. It's too long in this direction, and I can see why, because you made this area too long here. But the rest of the hospital looks pretty all right, and you even have the balconies here, so cool. Um, and then yeah, we have this area here, of course, the other kind of secret area. And yeah, this just connects to the female ward, which yeah, I think so. That's probably what it would look like as well. And yeah, it looks like we just really have the hospital left here, and also the underground lab. And we also have the chimney here. So really nice detail again. So yeah, let's see, hospital. And yeah, hospital reception area looks pretty alright here. Of course, we got the one office here. And also reception there, staircase. Yeah, one thing I always wondered is why the hospital doesn't have the same staircase as the wards and admin block. I mean it still has the elevator, but it doesn't have the large staircase. It has just two smaller staircases, kind of similar to those in the vocational blocks. And yeah, here is the morphogenic kind of engine prepping cells here. So of course that's where you start out in Whistleblower. Also got the plastic coverings here. As for the actual wall coverings, yeah, it's green, but it's also green at the top. And also, I would make this probably white. So yeah, there's the elevator. More decontamination chambers here. And just a lot of hospital rooms and such. So basically anything you can find in a hospital. I'm going to talk more about some of the actual rooms in upcoming videos, but I don't really want to spend that time talking in this video, since this video is supposed to be, just talk about the actual map here. And yeah, let's go check out the crematorium. So yeah, again, this would be brick, but it would be cement, so it's basically the same kind of design as the basements of the admin block and wards. So a lot of it's just a lot of the same stuff. So that's what I kind of mean by consistent, basically. So of course it's difficult to do that if you don't have a good idea of the actual building. So a lot of it can be difficult to notice. And whoa, this is okay. Yes, so yeah, this is an area we're not really supposed to see, of course. So yeah, just kind of flying around here. We got surgery rooms, so I think that's pretty much it for the lower level. And then we have the upper level here. Of course, the hospital is only 2 floors tall. And yeah, some more offices here. We have this exterior staircase here. It's a little bit dark here, but yeah, I can still make out some of the flooring and wall coverings. But yeah, here's one of the laboratories, and here's a ward. So this is just hospital rooms, or it's supposed to be. And there's paintings in here. Are there actually paintings in this hallway? I can't remember, but I don't think there is. There could be, but again, I don't really know all the smaller details. That's why I try to just focus on stuff like wall coverings and flooring, and also window placements and room layout and stuff. So, and yeah, so there's the hospital. So, hospital looks pretty alright. So let's see if there's an underground lab. If there isn't, we're just gonna call it a day, but we'll have to see. Okay, this is interesting. Ah, so there's a sewer. Okay, I just assumed there wasn't a sewer because there wasn't basements, for the wards. So, okay, so there's an actual sewer here. Good thing I checked that out. So, again, using cobblestone, I would personally recommend brick. Um, but you know, um, if I okay, I think we're in the one tunnel where it's just like a lot of just gore and stuff, where you climb down from the main area here. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, then you have the variant in here, and this is where Father Martin is seen. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So there's just a quick look at the sewer. I mean, I'm not going to go through all the tunnels, but he's got the basic idea there. And this should be the underground lab, right? So why is it not connected to the actual admin block elevator? That's interesting. Okay, whatever. Okay, so underground lab here. Okay, so All right, this looks pretty good actually. Um, really like how you did the actual rock here because it looks more natural and it actually feels like we're underground. That's actually really cool. I like this. Um, and yeah, so you have the reception area here. Okay, maybe try to make the ceiling a bit taller here. All right, yeah, I'm liking this. This looks really good too. So, really like how your prison and underground lab turned out. They look really good. The rest looks good, but for me personally, this is where it looks the best. Okay, so yeah, we have Wernicke's office in here. Oh, and they're just my computer decided to well, not my computer, but Minecraft decided to pause for whatever reason. And okay, so yeah, this layout is a bit off here in this area. Not sure why, but okay, this is interesting. All right, yeah, this is correct here, and of course we have the start of whistleblower in here, and this is the morphogenic engine chamber here. We also have the holding cells, although they seem to be missing. We also have the sublab uh, generator here. Okay, not sure what that is. Wait a minute. Okay, so all right, yeah, it's a bit off. Try to work on that. And also the reservoir here looks pretty good. So, yep, I think that's pretty much everything then. Let's see. Yeah, sewer, underground lab. So I think we pretty much reviewed everything. Okay, so I'm just wondering how the heck to get out of here now. And not really sure what's going on over there. That's very interesting. Okay, so that seems to be it for this map, at least. So yeah. Um, all in all, it's a pretty alright map. Uh, definitely really good. Of course, there are some stuff that he did get wrong, but um, I like it. I would say that your prison and underground lab were definitely the best parts, like the best. Um, if you could improve upon the areas that I talked about and some of the stuff you got wrong, you can definitely get those up to par with the prison and underground lab. So just kind of work on your room layouts a bit more and some of the material choices, and this can also be really really good. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a 7.5 out of 10. I don't know if you guys want me to do like the rating systems and such, but if I had to give one, it would probably be like a 7.5 out of 10. So if you could improve upon those, it would probably be like an 8.5 or even a 9. So, but yeah, anyways, that's gonna be my review of this map. So there's really not a whole lot of Mount Massive Asylum maps out there for me to explore. Really, there are a few more, but a lot of them seem to be more of these gameplay maps, and also they're really not on Planet Minecraft as well. So I've up to this point, I've really reviewed maps that are on Planet Minecraft. So yeah, I'll have to keep searching. So of course, as time goes on, there probably will be more maps coming out. So I know some of you guys are also working on some maps as well. So, but of course, it does take a while to build this. So, I mean, this is definitely really big project for anyone if you're trying to recreate the asylum. I'm just saying that right now. You better be ready to devote a lot of time, just making sure it's accurate and such. So it's a big building. There's a lot of parts you have to cover. So especially if you want to make it really, really detailed, just be ready to devote a lot of time. So, and that's why I waited so long until now, basically, to start building mine, because I was actually going to start building the asylum a few years ago, but back then I was just not ready to devote that amount of time to it. So now I am. So I've got some really good blueprints to help me with it, but yeah, just be ready to spend a lot of time with this. So you have to have a lot of patience, and a lot of devotion to this. So, um, and yeah, so that's basically my advice there, and that's gonna be the end of the video, guys. So, I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye for now.